doing so they can plan their trades accordingly. All right, let's put that there. 1 second. Boom, done. All right, cool. Cool. So what do you guys think? Should I start and do 2 lives a day out of curiosity? If I have the time, obviously. Honestly, it really does depend on my time profile. Happy New Year. Time is good. Videos during the day are great. They're great, but no, TikTok doesn't push them out. I put time into those things, man. I had a busy day golfing with... What? With the hedge fund boys. Nice. Good to know. No point in doing anything before US Open. Yeah, I know. I appreciate that. I appreciate everyone that's here who are watching and checking out what's happening. If you guys want to see more of my screen and what's happening, you can check out these 3 other socials as well. You should definitely go and check those out and see what's happening there. Let me just make sure that this is working. 1 second. Why is this not working? Let's see if this works now. Come on. Of course not. Why would it work? All right, let's try this again. All right, cool. So did anyone put on any trades today? Anyone see that the market is looking like it's curling up for a more aggressive move to the upside into the areas on which I was been talking about for a while now? Let's see. Let's get this thing going in 1 second. 1 second. Is this working? Why are you doing that? Let's refresh this out. I'm just trying to get the chat up on the app. There we go. All right. Okay. Cool. Do you think that there's going to be a sell-off because of the 15th of January? Remind me what's happening on the 15th of January. What's happening on the 15th of January? There's a lot of information that's coming out this. January is going to be choppy AF, just so everyone really can gather the insanity of what we will be going through. January is going to be mad, right? I want there to be a clear understanding of what insanity is going to be happening in January. There's so much stuff, all of which, and I mean all of which could potentially, rock this market, basically. It's the only way I can say it. All of which can actually rock this market, but anyway, what can we do? It is the way it is, and this is the market we are. And volatility is our friend, unfortunately, even though sometimes it isn't our friend. Strategy grab. Oh, right, the MS tier. Look, I'm not going to say it's not a worry. Right, I want everyone to be clear on that fact. I'm not going to say it's not a worry, because it is a worry. There is an issue there that hello, Mr. Stardust. There is an issue there that people are underplaying a little bit, honestly, because them being delisted from them being delisted is a bit of a problem. We're talking billions of dollars here that they're losing, especially when you look at MicroStrategy. Where is MSTR here? 1 second. Where is MicroStrategy here? Yeah, I mean, even if you look at MicroStrategy, it's in the absolute tanker, right? And that thing is gonna that thing's gonna cause some volatility for sure, right? That thing is going to go real volatility, and the fact that MicroStrategy is full porting into Bitcoin still is only going to exacerbate that problem. All right, it's only going to make this thing even more of an issue that you need to pay attention to. Like, you really need to pay attention to it. Now, the fact that we know about it, right? The fact that you know about it, I think will be at best a short, sharp move, right? That's what she said, right? At best, that's what I'm expecting to happen. I don't expect there to be some sort of crazy crazy move done unless something big happens, right? If they actually fully get delisted and you see all these factors going in, then that's could be a bit of a problem for them to pay back their obligations. But if you remember, before the new year closed out, MicroStrategy, instead of buying, they actually increased their reserves of stables. That's a huge thing, right? That means that they're preparing for the worst, to be able to at least cover some of their costs and move on this side. But they know for sure, and they know as much as we know, and everyone else knows, right? Even though MicroStrategy has, I'm gonna be careful how I say this, pulled what could be described as one of the most, how can I say this without saying it? Even though he's pulled one of the most spectacular, yeah, you know what I mean. Even though he's Happy New Year, Eli, how you doing? Even though he's pulled off something that could be described as a world class issue, right? Issue. Hello, user, how you doing? I don't want to say that, Salt. I don't want to say that, Salty Dog. I don't want to say it, but it is wild what he's been able to do. We've just been dealt the hand that we've been given right now, and he owns too much Bitcoin for this guy to fail, right? And I think that's what he's also relying on. I don't think the US government will allow him to fail, especially now he's entrenching himself into various other areas where he's going to be fully, no euphemisms. I just, GB, some of these things I can't say on the stream. I do want people to understand. I can't say some of these things on the stream, right? Because if I say it, streams don't like that. So I have to be creative. Maneuver. That's the best word. He's pulled one of the most amazing maneuvers in this history, right? And that alone is favorable, but also it's going to be a bit of a problem. Especially if the sell-off starts to unwind quite aggressively, he's going to need to sell Bitcoin. Whether that's a good thing in the long run, short sharp dip, V-shaped recovery, Bob's your uncle. Honestly, would it be weird if I said I kind of want that to happen? Would it be wrong of me to say that? Would it be wrong of me to say that, to clear what could be described as the key driver of this industry, and him holding on such exorbitant amount of Bitcoin that if this market gets into a broader stream of society, that there could be actually even more of a problem, because then he would be in control of everything. That's the issue. But we'll see. I mean, in the short run, I would be on a completely different factor on that side. I would rather there be a sharp hit to the market than I could buy more. Am I thinking too selflessly here? Am I thinking more that I want this type of aspect? What happened to the Fat Cat Burn? The Fat Cat Burn right now will do nothing. It's just literally throwing up into the air. I have other things. Things are being built, all right? Aspects are being sorted out. A lot of things are being built in the background. That's just all I'm going to say, all right? I can't say anything too much. I don't want there to be the same issue where someone gets in now and then later on they try and dump out. Unfortunately, this is the situation is. Does Sol have a lawsuit? Yeah, that won't mean much. That won't mean anything. Lawsuits and stuff like that, temporary. Think of it this way: lawsuits and things like that are buying opportunities. Look, you guys have been here, and people who have been the first or the second or the third run that they have, or anyone that's been with me for a while, you start learning these things. You know how sometimes you ask me and go, that looks quite good, that doesn't look good. It's because of experience, and your experience is going to start to really, really move from there. Anyway, Jessica, thank you for the gifts. Mr. T, thank you for the gifts. Thank you for all the gifts. You guys are incredible. Known, everyone else. No, all of you guys are absolutely incredible. It means a lot, man. Honestly, it doesn't. It's more of for the fact that you guys take your hard-earned cash and do it there. Yeah, hint, hint. Everyone else, nah, I'm messing around. I'm joking, but I do appreciate it. I appreciate everyone turning up and looking at what's going on. Now, where are we? What are we doing? Where is the market going? Are we in the right position? Are we not in the right position? What should we be looking at? What are the market analytics doing? And what's going on that side? First things first, right? I want to address an issue here, right? And I'm seeing a lot of, thank you so much for the gifts. Thank you so much, GB. It means a lot, right? I want to address a fundamental misnomer that's going around in X and what everyone else is talking about, and people not revealing the full scale of what's happening with this repo situation. I mean, I did a video about it. No one watched it, obviously, because, why would anyone watch my videos? They're not just like full of information and there to help you guys. Watch my videos, man. It may not be pushed out to you because TikTok is doing this new type of for you page thing, right? Where if the industry is not interested in cryptocurrency, it will just not show my videos to you guys, right? So what's happening at this present moment and what the situation is right now is this, right? I watched it. Thank you so much, Monkey. I appreciate it. Is that there is not a clear picture of what is happening with these repo situations, right? Some people are saying it's normal. Some people are saying, do you guys want to hear about this, by the way? Do you want me to talk about this? Or should I just go straight into the graphs and look at where I think things are moving and what things are moving in that direction? Out of curiosity, I just want to see if people want me to talk about this. Always wait for your videos helps. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Try and like and repost as well and comment and all that kind of stuff. TikTok's being a bit weird these days. So should I get into more detail about what the actual truth of all of this is? Do you think it will move down this weekend, crypto? Let's see. We'll see. It all depends on level by level. Look, I mean, I've showed the two areas of liquidity that we're in, right? Okay, cool. I'll talk about it. The two areas of liquidity, and we're slap bang in the middle of a key liquidity area. I'll go into this afterwards. I'll talk about it. Right now. So look, I'll give you the full broad understanding of this repo situation, right? On the one hand, at end of year repo loans is somewhat normal, right? It's normal. It's usually an accounting thing, and it happens, right? You'll see it throughout the graphs. There's a spike in the repo lending. So people point at that and go, "Oh, that's bad." It's the banks are lending, they're failing, and all this kind of stuff. And it's not that, right? And it's such a complicated way of looking at it. I'm just going to go step by step, and go through what is correct and what is not correct and everything else on that side, right? So them lending the Fed lending this repo lending and completely opening up to the banks to do so is somewhat of a normal thing. It's an accounting thing. It's somewhat normal. What isn't normal is the amount that they're borrowing, right? Combined with the fact that the Fed has stopped, they started rate cutting, and on top of that, they stopped quantitative tightening, right? Those three things being together is not very normal. Add in the fact that these loans are being sent to large banks and institutions, not small ones, large ones, the ones that should be very liquid, is where certain indicator cracks could be coming, which could have both a negative and a positive aspect to it, right? Now, I'll explain this. To be able to get this type of loan, and I want to expel this first little myth, right? Just because the Fed is doing these large short-term loans doesn't mean that they are fully injecting into the market, because these are 24-hour loans over the day, right? So they borrow it one day, within 24 hours they pay it back. So there isn't that much liquidity being actually put into the market. It's just to hold up the liquidity underbelly of what the US market is, right? The problem, and this is where people really need to pinpoint the issue here, is that because it's going into large institutions, the only way that those large institutions can get these loans is if they give up really AAA high quality assets. And those, the only type of assets that banks and the Fed actually consider high quality is US bonds, US debt. And this is where the problem comes in, right? Because if what they're giving up to collect these loans, if they were smaller, it wouldn't be a problem. but the sheer number, the enormity of the amount that they're collecting means that the assets that they're putting up is not yielding anything back to the banks for their liquidity. So it's basically pointing towards not that there is a liquidity problem in the banks, it's that the actual bonds, the US debt bonds, are failing. And that points to a much bigger problem. That points to that's black swan problem levels, right? Because it means that instead of the most high quality assets that are supposed to be yielding and returning back liquidity, that should be helping the banks increase in liquidity, because the US government is paying these yields on them, and they're high yields. They're not low yields here, right? We're above 4%, right? That's high yields that they're paying, is not enough liquidity for what the bank is needing, and it actually shows that the yield on the bond should be way higher, and that there is a real problem. It shows that the actual US bonds are creating a liquidity problem instead of actually easing it. That is usually it should be the other way around. And that problem there is the issue. That's the issue. And this is the thing, right? And I'll get to what is the positive and what is the negative of this, right? The negative is that the Fed continues its policy of somewhat hawkish sentiment, and may do wait and see type of tactics on the next Fed cut. Because when you look at the minutes, right, I'm jumping about it a little bit. If you look at the minutes, it was a bit 50-50, right? Some don't even want to cut, right? Or lower the amount, some wanted more, but the majority of it was like a very close line that they did the cut. If they start stopping this and the liquidity starts to actually be affected from these rate cuts, then we get into a problem where we really have a liquidity issue, and we will have a sharp pullback in the market. Sharp. It will be aggressive. People will start pulling back. And you see what happened with things like silver and everything else like that. That is uncannily having a pullback now. No one's talking about it, but let's not. That's a different issue, right? I'll get into that as well. So that's the situation. That's the negative one, where there will be a black swan type of event, where there will be a cascading liquidity crisis, and it will cause massive, massive problems, right? The positive is this. In 2019 and 2020, these type of things happened before, right? Larger than normal repo lending happened. And because of what it indicated, these issues of liquidity problems in the market, banks having liquidity and big banks having liquidity problems, and there being an issue with bond yields not matching up to the return that is needed to for the level of liquidity needed in the market, the central bank, the Fed, did a massive Fed put, right? Actually intervened into the market, which initially sounds like a good thing, but will also cause a big sharp pullback, but eventually a massive growth. So we are in this scenario right now, right, where we have this underlying issue that the Fed is trying to solve. And they're not really talking about it. I know everyone knows about it, everyone's talking about it, and they're pointing about, $74.6 billion. That's nothing for the US government. It's nothing, right? That's not even an issue. It's a 24-hour loan of 74 billion is nothing for them. That's not even an issue, right? We're not talking about the trillions of dollars that they spent in COVID, for example, for the banks, or when the banks went under the housing crisis, and where it was like, what was it, like 20 trillion or some ridiculous number like that. We're not talking about those type of numbers. We're talking about numbers that are 24-hour returns for high quality debt and this and that. That's not a problem, right? But there is an underlying issue that they're trying to solve, and them all of a sudden putting a break and giving massive levels of liquidity to the markets. There is an issue that they saw that they're trying to sort out. So this is the reality of what this problem, this situation is. Some say there is normality to it, and also there is a problem to it. And that problem is all dependent on how the Fed deals with these next cuts and these next meetings that they do. They need to continue cutting. And because of that, I am almost certain that, you know, there's this Polymarket came out saying that there's like a 70% chance that they're not going to cut. I don't believe that for a second. They're definitely cutting. They're definitely cutting. And that's the situation where we are, right? That's the situation of that issue. So I wanted to clear that up because everyone right now, right? Everyone right now is on full look or like, oh, this is a problem. And X, right? It's wild. It's starting to annoy me a little bit, right? Because I'm shouting on there going, hey, look, this is the reality. And then there's all these big accounts that are, you know, I'm not going to say anything about how they get that many views. Anyway, let's not talk about that. We're just spurting out just absolute crap. So this is the reality. This is the real stuff. So don't be swayed either or another. You know the full aspect of this. So when you see certain things, you can adjust it through the lens of what reality of this is. That's one. Secondly, today, right? Why we had a massive pump and then a pullback, right? And I'll explain this. So I'm giving you guys as much information as you want. And some people don't like me just monologuing this kind of thing, but I'm explaining it so people can understand. This movement that we got, this huge amount of volatility that was playing in the market, right? This sort of like up and down, actually going to lower time frames, right? This crazy spikes going up and down, left, right, and center, right? Were options. Now, and I'm going to say this now, so people learn for the next time this happens, right? I want people to know this for the next time that happens, so you don't go through the same load of idiocy that everyone was spouting. Oh my God, options are ending, right? What options do ending actually does for this market is not to do with actual investors, it's to do with market makers. These are some of the videos. You should watch my videos. That's why you should come and actually try and search for my channel every day to see the videos that are coming in, because they're really important, right? I put time into it, a lot of effort, and it's all for you guys. I don't get anything from it. Believe me, TikTok doesn't pay me none. I got 26p the other day. All right, it's nothing there, just so you guys have an understanding of this, right? Now, these options ending is because of market makers, right? What happens is that market makers. That's why you were seeing these mini sell-offs every single time before the end of the year, because the options were ending. They would hedge their bets by putting certain sell orders to be able to make sure that there is this they don't get margin called out, or they have to go over these options, right? I appreciate the info for this new year. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. You don't have to thank me. It's all whatever. Just, you know, share and like and all that kind of stuff, and give me like, you know, give me some hearts or something, whatever, as I'm talking. When the options expire, right? So think of it this way. I like to use the ball in the water analogy, right? When there are options, and options is basically a price that they have the option to buy or not at a certain price, right? And sometimes they don't want to buy at those certain prices because that's how they make their money. So they put certain, in essence, brakes, right? They push the ball down into the water, which stops the price going up over a certain amount, because that's what they're doing. They're trying to hedge their risk. And when options end, that option to buy that ends, they don't need to put that stop anymore. So what happens is that they just remove that downward selling pressure, and you get this massive spike. But that massive spike is like a spring, right? It spikes and goes up and down, up and down, up and down type of situation. And that's what happened today, right? But the good thing is that we are, I mean, look, you see this insanity that happened here. That's just pure insanity that's going on at this present moment. But what is a good thing, right, is that we are wholeheartedly within a very strong level of liquidity, right? This is liquidity, and also can be described as resistance. After all, you're just a dude in a sky bunker who doesn't know what he's talking about. I don't know what I'm talking about. This is just me creating fiction for you guys. All of this is fiction. Pure fiction. Don't listen to what I'm talking about. Sky bunker, you know, James Bond nemesis, right? Now, we are sitting in a very nice area at this present moment. The thing is, we need to close that very nice area within that very nice area. All right, we have to be within that very nice area. And if we look carefully, let's see if this has hit the 50% level. Ooh, okay, look here we go. Right, this is why that 50% is so important. Right, there's 50% pullback when you get a large wick like this. That's what she said. Anyway. Do you have a rab down filled puffer jack? What's a rab? You mean my rab? Oh, you mean rabbit? Why would I have rabbit down now? What was I going to say? Yeah, so look, when you get these type of large wigs, that's what she said. Right? It usually has a pullback to the 50% level. She's never said that. Okay, sorry. Right, sorry. God, so wrong. Anyway, whatever. Should be short this. I would not be shorting anything unless the day candle closes below the 50% level. It's strange that the 50% level sits exactly within the bottom line of the liquidity box that we have here, this golden zone here, right? So I'm expecting if this closes below, then we could have a test of the prior range, which is the 88,940, right? That's what she said. She never said that. It's so big, she only gets half the... Yeah, of course, that's how it is. You have to sometimes put just half, you only pull back a half, it's because, half is all she's getting. Anyway, sorry. For all the ladies out there, I apologize. I'm an idiot. Don't listen to these guys. They're fools. They're the ones who did it. I didn't say anything. But fools in the nicest way. I don't mean in any other way. You guys are amazing. I don't want to annoy anyone. Some people take offense to my little jokes. All I'm saying, all right? Just whatever. I apologize on their behalf because they're being, whatever. Anyways, that's the thing. So we have to make sure that what's going on. Also, what Lion King told me, said, is that we are also, unfortunately, Brev, coming into weekend liquidity, right? All of the best aspects of what's happening right now. So trading right now is very, very, very difficult, right? Alongside with all the lovely, absolute, incredible, beautiful, oh my God, have you seen what's happening? Level of insanity that's going to be coming this month with all of the factors such as the Fed chair announcement, the Supreme Court tariff ruling, the Clarity Act, the SLR requirements, the MSCI, which is coming in as he was talking about, the FOMC meeting, the government funding deadline, the tax loss selling, and on top of that OPEX. It's going to be a bit of a crazy month, but really good if you can actually play the markets well and do a small time frame market shift analysis, right? Even then, it's not easy. It's still you're playing on certain levels. And if you want more information, you guys can join the program. Just go or join the free community, which is in the links. You can check it out. It's called Learn by Alvarez. It's up to you. You don't need to join. It's all up to you guys, right? Now that's that situation where we are. So that's the thing. If the day candle closes above this 50% level, then we are on for a further expansion up. That's simplest, easiest way to do it. But to have more information, you can go into the Learn by. I'm going to be putting in a lot more information there as well, so you guys have a clear understanding of where I'm thinking, where it's going on, and moving from there. Also, you guys should join my X. I give the latest information there as well. Again, all in the links. You guys can see it. If you're on the tube, you go into the more on the bottom. I'll show that as well. And you guys can go from there, right? That's that situation. That's where we're going on. Very simple, very clear on what to do. And we will go from there. Again, you guys can show it. The box is between 90.5 and 89.750, around those levels. What's the 50% level? That's exactly this. 89. I wrote it as 89.76, but let's just be cautious. 89.75. 89.75. Those are the areas, right? And we're going to go into those aspects as we go along. Now, if we look at Total market cap. We have I said again, if you guys follow my X, by the way, let me show you these so you guys can, because I say it and then no one does it, right? If you guys want to see my what's going on, you can go on to here we go. You can go onto my X. It's Alvarez _ crypto. You can see all the latest information. I give all the data of what's going on, what's happening, and all that kind of stuff there as well. All various details and aspects that no one else actually gives, but I give it for free, you know, because I'm just lovely that way, and no one follows me either way. No mind, it's cool. It's all good, man. I'm not salty at all. Whatever, it's all good. All right, I got that out of me. Are we back? Could be, as I said, depends on where we're sitting. So, where we are right now with total market cap, right? If we look at total market cap at this present moment, we're sitting in a very nice level, right? We're sitting within. We've passed the 2.98, which I said previously in my previous lives that the zoomy moment will be the moment you pass 2.98 trillion, because this area here has a high level of liquidity sitting at this level. You can see the order block here. That's incredibly important. Now we have another level of liquidity and the order block sitting between the 3.02 and the 3.03 level, which is also a very strong level of liquidity, but it is very important that it stays above that. It's, to be honest, this area of liquidity is very important. If we hold support over the day, the day close above that, that is going to be a nice move and a nice place to settle. The next level that it needs to hold above is the 3.04. If we close today above this level, we should see further continuation and test the 3.04. And from there on, if we hold that as support, then we're going to test this higher range level of support sitting slap bang between 3.1, say 3.16 and 3.2. That there will be decision point. If you take nothing from this live other than what I'm saying right now, this here is decision point right now. Complete decision point. If we do not hold above that level, get above that level, we will be testing the lower levels. We will be testing, in my humble opinion, don't listen to what I'm saying about all that kind of stuff and everything else, right? We will be testing. We will start going down to these levels here. And it will be a slow, tiresome move down here. And I would say at least towards possibly around the May period and all that kind of stuff, where you will get small little spikes moving up and down, left, right, and center. But from that point on, it will be moving in that manner, right? So that's what we're saying. I'm moving towards the pure strength of this liquidity sitting here, the movement that we've had, and this breakout of the key levels of resistance. I have high hopes that we will at least get to this level here and possibly go and test the higher levels of the 3.6 and then have a slow, arduous move down all the way down, possibly around into the summer, around May. That's what I'm thinking. That's what's going on. And if you want more live on trades, you can go into the Learn by Alvarez and join the pro group. Just ask in there, and then I will message me. You message me, and I will tell you how to get in there. In fact, it might get to a point where I might, because I want everyone to benefit from this, right? So I'm just thinking if there is a way. Anyway, we'll see. We'll do something there. Oh, you can screen share on TikTok now. Yeah, I know. I finally got my the stream key now. So that's that situation at that point there. So that's where we are. That's where we're going. That's what's going on. That's the situation of where we're sitting at this present moment, right? Those are the two things that are very, very important to look at. Now, if we look on if we look at USDT dominance, we're getting what I basically stated, right? This is what I basically stated from a couple of weeks ago. I said that we had a lower high from the previous high, so this looks like there could be a pullback coming in. Now, now, this is the thing, right? This is the thing. We had a bounce from the lower end of this I mean, it was very close. I think it was like less than the 0.0% off. This bounce from this zone here that we're sitting in, it's important that we don't get a sustained move from here. It's very, very important we don't get a sustained move up from here. Technically, right? And this is from full-blown technical analysis on this point. We've produced a lower high on a lower time span, right? It's on the 2 hour. 1 hour is important. Same on the 1 hour, and it goes down all the way to various. But 1 hour is very, very important. That's usually an indication of confirmation, right? So we've had a lower high from the previous one. We've produced a lower low, right? And we've broken below a key area of low time liquidity, right? Now, if we close below, and it is so tight, I know what it sounds like, but it is so tight right now that you'd marry this, right? You would marry this person if it was this tight, right? If we can close the day candle, all right? Stop saying that's what she said. If we can close the day candle around where we are right now, we will have further continuation down, and it will be some beautiful moves in the market. All right, but this is an if, because it is testing. I'll do even better here. I'll do a short time frame liquidity here. This, right? We don't want it sitting there. That's not where we want it to sit, all right? We want it to sit below that. Because if it doesn't sit below that, all right, we are most probably going to have a retest. Yeah, a retest of the 6.28%. That 6.28%. And that will cause some red in the market. That will cause some serious red in the market, right? But from there, I think there could be a further breakdown. And if it breaks down from there, it's going to be a really lovely move in the market. And you could make some... And it would bode well with the analysis of Bitcoin possibly going up and moving from there. So watch this very carefully. This is looking good. It's looking good, not fantastic, right? It's not fantastic. It's looking good, but not fantastic. We have to be careful here. We are at the extremities of what is an easy understanding of a market direction at this present moment, because it's sitting again in an area of liquidity, which this normally would mean a further rally up and at least test this 6.26% level, and then from there, what crypto are you talking about? I'm not talking about crypto. Market USDT dominance. You can actually see in the corner here. There, look, you can see what it is there. USDT dominant, and you will see at least a push up there, because we are seeing a cross of a lower time time over the 200 on the 2 hour. Maybe not in this, but yeah, we are seeing a breakdown of lower time scales to cross over this, and when that happens, that's usually bearish sentiment in USDT dominance is a good thing, right? That's a very good thing. That means there's going to be further continuation in the market. It's looking that's going to be that way, but I will say this, and I say it all the time, right? When you start getting these crosses that happen in a lower time frame, and it looks like it's going to hit the 4 hour. If the 4 hour starts crossing below that, what usually happens is that the graphs rally into that as a magnet and then have a real hard rejection from it. I wouldn't know what that feels like. I got married, you know what I'm saying? In it, brief. But it's looking good. Let's see. If the day candle closes below that, this will be further continuation. If not, it will go from there, right? That's the thing. What we are in right now, right? Rather than giving wide sweeping, oh, it's going one way or another, that most people give, right? They go, oh, it's going up or it's going down, and eventually there's going to be a situation. I'm going on level by level, situation by situation, and at this present moment, it's looking relatively good, right? And I would say this: if we start seeing an acceleration from this point, the area what we need to look at is this, right? That there could potentially, and I'm not saying it'll get here, there is a high chance it'll bounce off the 55. Where's the 4 hour? No, it looks like it'll come there. But it could also bounce from here as well. All right, let me put this here as well. The strong order blocks here as well. There. Right. Here we go. These will be your zones, right? If it breaks below this, right? First bounce zone will be 6.1. Then it will most probably bounce between the 5.98. And then my internet is terrible in the Falklands Islands today. Well, you're in Falklands. I thought you were in London with your trade or whatever. Anyway, whatever. And the last is the 5.84. And I think from here, will be where we start a massive pullback. I think from here you will find support, and then it'll start moving up towards the eventual. I think eventually where we will get to is the 8% mark. I think this level here, the 8% mark right here, that there will be the bottom. There is a chance that there would also correspond with 67 to 75 in the Bitcoin, right? Those two aspects that go across in that manner, that there will be possibly the area of rejection, and then move down from there. There we go. That's what my analysis of what will most probably happen. But if you're paying in the slow time frames, I think there's gonna be some nice little movements happening. I'm gonna get rid of this now. Why is that even there? Get rid of that. Moves over. That moves over. And this is where we're sitting, right? All good? Any questions? Can you move the chart? It's right. Oh, right. Yeah. 1 second. Let me move this. 1 second. 1 second. I'm gonna move this chat over here. There we go. Better? I noticed that the other day as well when we were on the thing. Is that better? I hope that's good. There we go. Go Huda. Good evening. 50% of your longs are still open, right? Yeah, it is. Yeah. You have to get yourself paid, man. This is the thing. When you have those longs open, we were so up. I'm so up. You saw my Aptos was at 460%. I took 50% off. I paid myself. All good. All good, right? You have to pay yourself. It's really, really important to pay yourself. So that's the situation where we are, right? Where this holds is very important, and we will move from there, especially as we have so many catalysts coming into the market and where we're moving and what's going on from that scenario, right? Now, if we look at Bitcoin dominance, let's have a look. Yeah, I'm looking at these fresh, as you can see. God, I wish this went up a bit more, you know. Anyway, it is what it is, right? It is what it is. This is like a good, yeah. Anyway, right? So what this usually points to is a short-term move, right? When things move like this, it's usually a short-term move in the markets, and that can be somewhat problematic. Anyway, we'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see what goes on that side. I'm expecting some form of reaction off the 59.18, which will mean that we'll get Bitcoin pumping again. But we really need Bitcoin to go up. This ain't great. Anyway. Let's move that to there. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, this ain't great, right? I don't like the fact that Bitcoin dominance. I mean, you'll get a nice move in your alts. Alts will do well in this scenario. Oh, by the way, what happened to Zek? 1 second. I got messages after last live, right? I got messages after the last live saying, why are you saying to me, right, that Zcash is going to have a pullback? This is the new future. Privacy is the new future. And I was like, look, Brev, right? Look, Brev. If a move of this aggressive nature happens, it usually comes back and at least tests the 50% level, right? And it did worse than that. It's probably going to bounce off the 21 day, the 472. God, honestly, the amount of hate I got. And all right, get done. So yeah, Bitcoin dominance looks good. It looks good for altcoins, but this is a short-term move. To be honest, we need Bitcoin to really rally to get those really large moves. But at this present moment, it's just looking like we'll be happy with what we get, right? Which is okay, no problem. It's all good. Gretting from ferry to diver. Ferry to Dover, I'm assuming you're saying. Well, welcome. Welcome to the lovely, interesting shores of England. So that's that situation. I think we will see some sort of bounce off the 59.01, most probably. Would I say that? Would I say that? That looks more healthy, actually. So, I mean, this could point towards more of an altcoin move, to be honest. Interesting. Yeah, looks like a bit more of a move in that thing. Where's Alvarez sign for my? It's coming. It's coming. I'm getting in my studio. You're gonna see it. It's gonna be like Alvarez sign and like with slats and stuff and other stuff. I've ordered some. I've ordered some chords, statues. I heard. I mean, I like them. Don't get me wrong. They're a bit expensive. Why are these things so expensive? It's like a piece of plastic. It's like $4,000 anyway. Whatever. It's all good. So I got both that and lights and like, table and new chair and stuff. I'm changing my chair. It needs to go now. It's stuck in lowrider mode. It's full lowrider mode right now. Like it's completely lowrider. Crypto King is gonna be jealous. There's no chance that he can be jealous. No one can be jealous of the king. The king is always the king. Even though unbelievable. He apparently had like 1,000 people on his Telegram. Not Telegram, his what's it called? His Discord. It's wild. It was wild how that guy got so much. It's unbelievable, man. Whatever. But yeah, so you know, if you want to join something else, it's like the pro group is I can learn by Alvarez. All right, shut up. Okay, cool. Right, this probably gonna go and bounce off the 58.7. That's what it looks like. You will get a small little spike here, so we'll get some profit taking at the 59.06, but then the ultimate move back up will be the 58.7 most probably. Now, SPX. Right, look. Where we're sitting with SPX at this present, let's get rid of that. Get rid of these things. All right, get rid of that. That can stay. That can go. Let's get rid of some of these other numbers here. Get rid of that. You know, I genuinely believe that how much do you see SPX 500 at the top? What do you mean? Where do I think it's going? Well, look, the issue I have with SPX at this present moment, right, is that it's hovering around the bank told me number quite aggressively at this present moment. Yeah, I genuinely think that TikTok suppresses my lives. I was talking to a few of the other people who watch my videos, and most of them don't see me going live, which is sad, really, to be honest. I wish that TikTok didn't do anything like that. I mean, you see other people have like 300 views on a 300 views on their lives, and they're talking about RSI and things like that. Hello, Jesus, how you doing? Hello, Cryptus, Jesus. 8100. Well, you're talking about you probably pulled the fib up. I was told, and I'm just saying it's not top, but like local top. I was told the 7100 was the local top. That's what I was told, and it's from the same guy who gave me the bank number. The bank told me number, right? Right. This bank told me number has I'm sure suppressed. Yeah, 100%. 100%. I mean, I've got 77 people on my live. It's probably all the what's it called, those scammer things banning my lives all the time. So whatever, what can I do? That's why everyone needs to like press the heart buttons and all this kind of stuff. Get it up to like 100,000 likes, 200,000 likes, that kind of thing. Because TikTok doesn't seem to like my lives for some reason. So yeah, I was told around the 7100 was what the same bank trader guy told me, and he was right about the 6910. Now, what the way that SPX is holding is that it's looking like it wants to have a more aggressive. I never get a TikTok notification on your next. Yeah, TikTok is completely outright stop my lives going out. I think due to all the people that all those the haters that push the report button on my live. I think TikTok doesn't want to do it on that side, but whatever, it's all good. Now, if we look at the SPX, I think it's looking like it wants to have a more of a aggressive pullback. This is what it's looking like to me. Even though it's holding support on the 21-day EMA, which is good, which usually when the S&P 500 holds that, it means it's a nice little yeah, I'll never do it either. Yeah. Actually, a question: who here got a notification that I went live? Out of curiosity. Thank you so much, Cryptus. Appreciate it. I only do crypto. I'm on the live. I only do crypto. No notification. Yeah, no one gets a notification. I only got a YouTube notification. I got it. Oh yeah. Thank you. No. Yeah. Look, most people do. No. I used to get it. Now I find you by luck. I just gave a follow. Thank you, Sir Mr. Ross. Appreciate it. Yeah. No one gets a. It's just people just find it by luck now for some random reason. No, but got your YouTube one. I appreciate it. That's why you need to go to the tube. Right, you need to go to the tube Alvarez _ and put the bell on there, and you'll get it from there, and you get my lives, and you can watch it from there. And you can see on that side as well, because it's ridiculous. Like TikTok has something against me. I don't know. I don't know what it is. I think I'm not an asshole. That's why. If I was an asshole, it would work. Anyway, look. So where we're sitting right now is the S&P 500 is looking like it wants to have a bit more of an aggressive pullback, but I will say this, right? I will say this. And I like to say technically here, because it's so slither of a thing. We have closed above the previous high. Not only you, Neil Invest got his account back after a ban for nothing. Yeah, TikTok bans you for nothing. It just bans you for nothing. Must be all financial guy, maybe. I don't know. Although one of my videos got 300,000 views the other day, so that was interesting. And then afterwards, TikTok was like, wait 1 second. Wait 1 second. Why are we giving this guy so many views? The next 2-3 videos, 500 views maximum. How'd you like that? God, it's so toxic. I wish I could just move over to YouTube, honestly. It'd make me so happy. But none of you guys follow me on YouTube. That's why I don't know what else to say. Anyway, look. Technically, we've produced a high, right? Mine's getting 250. Wow, look at you, man. You're getting better than me. Um, thanks, man. Appreciate it. That make me feel bad. What was I saying? Yeah, so technically we've produced a high, right? And when you get a high, I don't use broker. I just use because we're on TikTok. I use exchanges. I use MEXC. To be honest, look, I want to show you something on Mix. I just want everyone to understand, right? Because I looked after my show the other day and no one utilized it, and I was like, am I missing something here? Does why is no one understanding what I am giving people here, right? So I'm just gonna do it live here so you can understand, right? I'm gonna put it here. I want everyone to have a understanding of what I'm trying to do, right? On TikTok as well, it's on the if you go to my channel and subscribe and everything there, you'll see on the bottom the link tree, right? But if you go here, right, if you go to my channel, get anything for you guys. It's all for your benefit, right? I'm not doing anything on that side. It's not like I'm earning anything from all this. If you go here to the daily chain, right? Actually, I'll move it to the right a bit. Right. If you go here to the daily chain here, right? You see this mexc.com, right? Yes, I accept whatever. This mexc.com. I've done a deal with this is how much I care about you guys and how little everyone does it, right? This is how much I care about you guys. I've done a deal with them, right? Where all of the fees that are earned from that go back to you guys. Anyone that subscribes from this, who goes and joins up to Mexi from that, will get 0 fees for trading on it. I think 98% of all the things that you trade are 0. It's like a collective, right? So the more people join, the more pairs get 0 trading fees. Do you get what I'm trying to give you guys here? It's literally, if you don't like it, you can leave. There's no commitment to it. It's MEXC, it's the normal exchange anyway, whatever. By the way, you guys also check out Learn My Hours as well. That's the free channel. You guys can see everything there. All right. I just wanted everyone to understand that I'm giving you guys something, and everyone's like, nah, brev. Like, nah, I don't want like help. I just want problems. All right. That's the way the situation is. I'm just telling you. You don't have to, but it's there if you want it. All right. It's there if you want it. What's happened to my screen here? 1 second. Why is that all weird? That's better. Oop, that's better. Okay, cool. All right. Oh, wait, 1 second. There we go. All right, cool. So it's just for you guys, all right? Okay, Punky, stop flexing. Yeah, he's flexing. He's big guy with Lambo and Ford Cosworth and whatever, right? So that's that situation. It looks like we technically produce a high, which means that there is a strong close, which could push to which could push to a higher sort of growth. That means a higher, and this could be continuation. It all depends on where the bottom is on this, right? If this looks like it wants to go down a bit more, if we see a close above, let's put it on the daily, which, to be honest, we're almost certainly going to see. If we see a close above the 6763, right, then this will continue. Simple as that. 6763. We have to make sure that level is held quite aggressively strong. There we go. Weekend when they're first again. Yeah, most probably. Yeah, there is a possibility that can happen. Low liquidity on the weekend is always in that man. Yeah, I've got 67 viewers at this present moment. TikTok loves my lives, right? They absolutely adore it. It's the most important thing. It's just because everyone's reported me. That's why TikTok doesn't want to do it. On YouTube, close my Bitcoin along waiting for another entry. Where's Bitcoin right now? Yeah, I mean, I took profit at the top here on my on my move. So that's the situation where we are. Okay. Oh wow. Anyway, that's that situation. Cool. I might actually just do these lives on YouTube again. I used to get more views that way. I might do it that way. Anyway, we'll see it from now. Where are we? Yeah. Okay. Cool. Look. So if we look at the U.S. The U.S. government bonds, this is a direct correlation to what's happening with the repo markets right now. I would not be surprised. I would genuinely not be surprised if this thing doesn't continue up, right? If this thing doesn't start to move back up to higher levels, which will start putting in all of the press coming out saying, oh, look, there's a repo problem, there's a debt problem, and all this kind of stuff. I'm expecting look, right now, all of the possibilities stated here could potentially happen. I'll make this bigger so you guys can see. All of these could potentially happen. All of them, right? There's a chance for all of this to happen. And all of this going south, quite aggressively south, right? So there's still not as much confidence in the market as everyone's expecting. And that there is a problem, right? That's a problem that we're all trying to come on. That's a problem that we're all trying to understand. So all of this is going to be volatility. So I'm expecting some form of a short, sharp wick down, possibly, right? These type of things that happen, and sometimes they're good for the market, right? Sometimes having an aggressive pull down into this zone here is very good for the market. It's actually healthy because it will drive out all of the issues in the market and it can reset and we can start building again. To be honest, I wish it would get down here quicker. The quicker we get to these levels to the lower, the quicker we can have that retrace back up. Okay, let's look at gold. Wow, I just got a TT notification now. Oh, appreciate it. Maybe it heard me saying maybe I won't go live anymore. Oh, God, that's hilarious. That's hilarious. TikTok was like, what'd you say, bruv? You said you're not gonna, you don't want to do live anymore? Ah, okay. Let me inform some people. All right. Okay, my friend. Okay. I sorry. Oh, let's see. Hilarious. Anyway, what was I saying? Look, so that's that situation where we're sitting right now. Gold is still looking so strong. Is looking so strong. Like gold, someone, as I said, many moons ago, someone came to me and again, the same person that talked to at the bank level was like, gold's going to probably hit 7,000 at the end of 2026. And I was like, there is no way that's going to happen. No way that's going to happen. And it doesn't look ridiculous, right? It doesn't look ridiculous. It's a lot. Like it's a lot that gold would need to grow. Gold going there is actually a bit of a problem, but let's not go there, right? Let's not go there. But there is a real chance. Gold is looking unbelievably strong. To be honest, with gold at this present moment, because of the sheer problem that the dollar is going through, it's just becoming the new reserve, right? And this is a problem. This is a problem for the US economy. This is a problem for what could be seen as the safe haven. Because if America starts getting to a point where then that's not the safe haven, then there's only one other country. There's only one other country that's will be seen as a safe haven, a safe economic haven. Does anyone know what that would be? Ask me. Anyway, does anyone know? China is exactly the case. And do you know how I know that it will be China? here's a nice little graph that will make you guys annoyed a little bit. There you go. Right there. Right there. This right here shows government bonds, right? And Chinese government bonds are outpacing USA at the moment. No one is talking about this issue, right? I just want everyone to understand that, right? That no one is talking about this, but they are outperforming US Treasury bonds, right? Government bonds, and that's a problem. That's a real problem, because if the dollar falls out of the reserve currency, if the US economy and the stock market moves away from what is a safe haven, and if US government bonds, US debt is seen as being a risky expenditure, hence the short-term repo lending, you got a problem, because China is the only other place that people will go to. And if China is the only other place that people will go to, yeah. So monitor that, all right? This could be a problem, guys. I'm just saying. People should really, look into that. And this is the thing. This is why China is so dangerous, right? Because it's so quiet. Even when it was doing it's hilarious. Even when it was doing military exercises around, Taiwan, they did it in such a quiet way. It's just unbelievable. I heard maybe 3 news outlets talking about it. This is the thing. They're quietly taking over all of the most important things, and everyone else is dealing with things that don't matter. And this is an indication of that. And if you hear any other influencer talking about this, right, after I've said it now, right, if you hear it, it came from me first. All right? And I want everyone to write, Alvarez said it first, blah, 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 blah. All right, cool, I'm good now. That's the situation. So this is going to continue up. If China is, oh God, what just happened? Nope, I didn't want to do that. Okay, here we go. All right. Sorry, 1 second. There we go. All right. 1 second. Sorry, just press something. All right. And if China's if Chinese debt is seen as being more of a safe haven, then gold is going to go up, and this will all go up until that flips over. Just so everyone understands that, right? That's that situation. Silver, on the other hand, this does still look very bullish. I don't want to say anything about it. It still is looking like that there's going to be a move. Right? What we're seeing right now, it's perfect textbook. Not even that. It's even better. Damn. That's okay. If you guys want to know what we'll hear about this stuff from others soon. Yeah, I'm sure it will, and they'll get 10 times more view because TikTok loves them and they doesn't like me. Maybe it's the background. Maybe if I had like Alvarez here, TikTok would be like, look at that! Oh my God! Oh my God! Have you seen that? The best thing I've ever seen in my life. So that's that situation right now, right? So if you want to understand what is a very strong chart structure, it's this. This is incredibly strong, right? This is one of the most bullish chart structures you can get. And I would be surprised if this doesn't break out. I'd be extremely surprised if this doesn't break out to the upside. Whether it's justified, I don't know, man. I don't know, man. If this is, I don't know if this is justified in any sense of the word, right? Because if this starts to start, what I'm worried about is this, right? I'm just worried that people are buying silver for the wrong reason. And they're buying it because of rumor and speculation and all this kind of stuff. I heard someone the other day, I saw a video, the guy was saying, Samsung has this solid state battery that uses a kilo of silver. And that is like the most incredible thing you've ever seen in your whole life. In fact, it is the most unbelievable thing to such an extent that the world markets rallied because of that for silver. And when you hear things like that, man, like those are not, that's not a good sign, right? That's a trap for 50 years type of sign. Because don't forget, and like silver's had these type of rallies before and collapsed 80%. That's all I'm gonna say. Just be careful. Just be very careful, right? That's all I'm gonna say. Just be very, very careful. Why is silver $10 more in Shanghai than the US? It's probably physical silver. Got a quote today for $103 on some physical. Yeah, physical. Because they're trying to hedge the future price of silver when they need to buy it again. I accumulate Fortnum Mason and Nike stocks. Nice. I'm fantastic. I'm glad that you are doing that. Yeah. So, ultimately, this is looking very bullish. This will have a measured move at least to its previous all-time high. 50-year bag holders become incoming for silver. You know, I'm gonna say something, right? And I don't want to say it. I just don't want to say it because it's gonna, on one hand, make other people will laugh, and on the other hand, rage bait people extremely badly. I don't want to say it, all right? But it is giving me XRP vibes right now. It is giving me XRP vibes right now, all right? I don't want to say it, all right? As much as I love XRP people, you guys are like my boys, right? But it is giving me XRP vibes a little bit, right? You hold for 50 years, then you get a pump, and then you make every single exclusive in the world what everyone sells in your ass. And then when it goes down, you're like, oh man, it's going to be the next, I don't know. It's going to be a battery that's going to use 400 kilos of silver. That's what. That's what I'm saying, man. I don't want to say it, but it's giving me a little bit of that, a little bit. So I'm not. I know that silver is like far more. I'm sorry. I know that XRP is far more valuable than silver, and I know that it's going to be the next world currency or something. And silver will rue the day it didn't buy XRP. That's why TikTok hates you. You need to make 100 XRP videos like. Oh my god! You know what's so sad, right? There are some big creators. There are some real big creators that are going heavy into XRP, and I'm just like I know the algorithm likes XRP, right? I know, because any type of video I do about XRP, it's like I get 10 times the amount of views I get. I get it. I get that, right? But if this thing fails, man, all right, if this thing fails, then there's going to be a real problem here for all those people that have been talking about it. It's like the whole of TikTok and social media are talking about XRP. And it's to such an extent, it's like a religion. It's the only way I can put it together. It's like a religion. Like the creator of XRP, it came out that he was selling on people, and everyone was like, yeah, man, you get that house. You get that yacht. I'm going to buy more. It's a discount. And you're just like, what's happening here, man? Anyone, please, someone explain to me what's happening here. Anyway, all right. Are you nuts? If that's the case, the world would be it wouldn't matter. Jam, you talking about me or someone else? I don't know what you're talking about. Anyway, it's all good. Okay, cool. Right, that's that situation. That's where we are. All right. Let's look at a few more other things. DXY. Okay, cool. It's strange that the DXY is following a USDT dominance almost precisely, which is interesting. But this looks like it's going to go down more. The US government is trying to devalue the absolute. The guy said $750 per. There's no way I can see that going to $750. Look, you need to understand this as well. Just the supply shock, right? Look, silver has a, you need to look at the amount of that can be delivered in years. So there's a an inflationary number of deliverables of silver that there is, and silver is 20. So they deliver about 20,000 ounces roughly a year, roughly on that amount. Gold is like 1,000. So there's a 20x difference between the two. And if it gets to 750, the world would stop. I mean, just genuinely, the world would stop. They'll find an alternative. I promise you that. Just one question: is it over? The thrill ride is getting so boring. Rick, if it's boring, you should get excited. Strange, my wife has never said that to me. That's a sentence I've never heard. If it's boring, right, you should get excited, because the thing is, when it's boring, that's when you can have your absolute best entries. It will get to a point where it will get so boring that you will have the absolute perfect entry. You don't want it exciting. Exciting is when you want it boring, right, until someone else joins in, and that's when it gets exciting. Oh my god, this is all sounding super wrong here, right? You want them to come in late to the fun, right? You don't want it to come in early to the fun, because you want to be able to last the distance. What am I talking about right now? I can't say anything that doesn't sound wrong. One second. All right. You want to have early entry. Again, that sounds wrong as well. You know what I mean. Anyway, whatever. Let's move on. So wrong. One good thing is that the VIX is looking absolutely amazing, right? Where it's settling is stellar. And it is pointing towards the exact type of thing that we want, right? We want boring, low volatility type of environment, which gives you the best type of moves, right? Now, we don't want it to be too low in liquidity, because you get the market maker messing around, as it did as I was explaining at the beginning of my life, right? But it can have a whole bunch of other issues that go in from there. Total 3 is perfect. And look, oh my god, I haven't looked at Total 3. What? Perfect. As I said, 827 billion is going to be, was the number to look at, and that is the exact area, perfect deviation, come back in the range, and this thing should rally and test the 958, which could bode well for altcoins. So it's looking good on that side. Now, a few other things I want to talk about, and then I will get into looking at other people's coins if they want me to. I don't know. It's up to what everyone else wants me to do, right? Okay. Let me just minimize this. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. All right. Okay, cool. All right. Let's see what goes from here. Now, that's working, right? Yeah, it's working. I'm not hearing much from the Tube guys, but I guess Tube and X, and I think everything's okay, right? On X and YouTube, I think all good. Anyway, look. So let's look at some interesting things, right? I got hold of something. I got told off today. I got told off really badly today, right? So, I've been showing you documents. It's on my video. I might have to take it down, actually. That video that no one watched. So if you guys want to do it, you should watch it soon, because I'm probably have to take it back, take it down tonight, right? Because I got told off today. So there's a I got hold of this, right? You guys understand. I got hold of this, and I wasn't supposed to show this, but I put it in the video, so I was like, yeah, whatever, right? Whatever, bruv. You see at the bubble video, right? That one, the bubble video. Everyone should watch it because I have to probably take it down because I got told off. This is a internal investor part of an internal investor document. I just screenshot it. Thank you so much, Scratchers. It's very kind of you. Thanks for making everything worse. Thank you very much. It's very kind, right? Very, very kind. And this talks about the internal understanding of whether the market is within a bubble or not, right? And it is wholeheartedly looking at a few various key things. The two that matter to us is Bitcoin and AI, right? And it gives a value between 0 and 1, right? And it indicates the closer to 1, 80 and above is full bubble territory, and it has a whole bunch of other factors that's going through, right? It looks at, you know, market placement, price for earnings, and all this kind of stuff. And it gives a score, and depending on that, gives you an understanding of the risk of investment into an asset or to an asset class that has a potential of being considered a bubble. AI came out, so anything above 80 is bad. AI came out at 0.24, and Bitcoin came out at 0.32. So we are so far away from what a large institution, internal document of a large institution is talking about. It's not even a joke. So when you see these banks and everything else start questioning Bitcoin and AI and all this kind of stuff, don't believe them. A bank, and this is something you will learn very, very quickly, right? A bank will only release information and make things public when one of actually three things. One, if they're forced to. Two, if they're already positioned to benefit from it. Or three, to manipulate the market. Those are the only three scenarios that they will publicly announce it. Because these things, if anyone has worked in a bank, they will understand why bankers earn so much money. It's not because they make, they deserve to make that much money. It's because the bank charges insane amounts of money for these reports. Insane. We're talking tens of millions of dollars for a report of this standard. So there you go. So I'm going to need to take this down, right? That video is going. You should watch it before I need to take it down. The guy who gave it to me got really angry with me that I brought a video. Yeah. And if that doesn't deserve a follow or like some more likes, all right, I don't know what does. All right? All right? All right, cool, whatever. Now let's look at a few other things I wanted to show you. This is another really interesting thing, right? So I'm sure you've heard of this. This indicator. Oh, come on, make it a bit small so the people on the Ticketed Talk can see it. I'm sure you've seen this indicator and what it talks about, what's going on, what's happening, what the actual understanding of the MVRVZ score is. It usually is an indicator of whether the market is. The lower the score, the better. The higher the score, the worse, and it shows you an understanding we're actually at the top, right? We have officially printed the lowest MVRV zone in Bitcoin history. And this is what gives me the understanding that we are on the verge. And when I say verge, we're still thinking months here. I'm not going to beat around the bush. I'm sure we will get rallies and counter rallies, but eventually I think we're going to be testing that 200-day EMA. I just want everyone to be clear. This is my humble opinion. I don't know what I'm talking about. Don't listen to what I'm saying. I just give snippets for $1 million for internal document that no one's supposed to be seeing. I'm that guy, right? No one watch me. Fine, don't just swipe away. You don't need to see any of this stuff. You know, go watch the kid that says the RSI is on the bottom, so it'll be like going up in it, right? So what's going on here is that it's print the lowest mark. It's in negative territory. These type of numbers are wild, right? And it points towards a scenario where if there is any level of recovery from this point, right, then we are looking for some serious move in the next run that's happening. And we're not talking about a lot of time here. 6 months? Would 40x for 6 months be enough time to wait and do the grind before and be there before all of the other people enter? You know what I mean? Would you want to be first in a how can I say this? It's better to be first. That's all I'm going to say, right? I don't want to sound wrong. It's better to be first than the one that enter afterwards. Damn, that sounded wrong. But still, Bitcoin closed the year. Yeah, but do you know what I'll say about that, Cryptus, right? It did close in the red, but it closed on the red suspiciously. Bonnie... I don't know who Bonnie Blue is. I don't know who that is. Who is Bonnie Blue? I have no idea who that person is and why she'd be talking about being first rather than... Why is she an economist? Is she an influencer? I don't know who that is. So we're very close to a point where, in my humble opinion, we should be having some real strong movements. She does economics, does she? Is it someone that I need to look up? So why do you use prop firms with... I don't use prop firms. Prop firms is a massive scam. The name is... She's your mentor. Does she use different signals and what's a she's a meme coin trader. She's into pump and dumps. I don't know what you're talking about. I've never heard of her. I wonder what she would think of this chart. What is MVRV? You know what? I'm gonna do a video about that. I'll do that. I'll do a video on this graph so you can understand it. So follow and watch out for my video. I'll do the video tomorrow about the MVRV score, right? This is a historic low. This is, anything at this point is usually pump and dumps low. Crypto said, and I doubt that. This is a purely educational stream, right? Bonnie Blue said 6 months of explosion, but what about now? January is just a small relief rally or what? I need to look this person up. She seems quite... I don't know. Anyway, sorry, we got sidetracked. I'm trying to understand who this... Lots of subs here. Look. Cool. She's good at relief rally pumps. Oh, okay. Okay, cool. Anyway, so this is usually a historic area to buy, right? It's a cool thing to look at. But I will say this, right? We are in a scenario where we're in historic lows. Liquidity is relatively low. And it's looking like we're in a scenario right now, all right, where we should see some level of expansion up. But I want to be clear here. You will see a lot of people talking about whales will stop selling, they're accumulating, and this and the other. I've said it, right? This was the case beforehand. Alvarez, I will say this. That's what she said. Cool. All right. I will say this, right? Before the new year ended, there was a lot of accumulation and capitulation ended. Capitulation is basically selling at a loss at any point just to get out the market, right? Not dependent on price action or market analysis or everything on that level. That has slowed down, right? Whale selling has slowed down, and the capitulation level is at an all-time high and actually basically stopped. I think we're at 400 and something. I read it this morning. 400 and something million of sale on Bitcoin for in the form of capitulation, right? Don't talk bad about my wife, Bonnie Blue, bruv. I don't know who this person is. I don't know what you're talking about. Is capitulation selling at climax of Wyckoff? No, capitulation is selling. I mean, there is a case for what you're saying, but no, capitulation is selling at loss, and not regarding what the fair value of the stock is or any type of market. It's basically just leaving the market, right? And it's at all-time high, and it's actually reduced down to around 400 million. Previously, it was at 2.4 trillion. So just so you understand, it's that massive amount, right? Now, there is some accumulation happening now, right? So long-term whales and all the wallets are actually buying up Bitcoin. But what's happening now is that longer-term holders and larger whales are actually consolidating their wallets into one larger wallet and actually holding it for the long term. And what that will show is negative, actually false negatives. And so you'll see a lot of things on X now talking about how whales got to be accumulating and all this kind of stuff. That is not the truth. The truth is that they are buying, but they're not buying at large amounts. So this type of understanding that this is what's happening is not the case. So just so you understand, there is that situation. There is buying, capitulation's ending. What's more of a problem, right, is that even though we have all these metrics that point towards an expansion in the price, futures are the issue at the moment, right? Futures are the issue. Because they're still selling, and they're selling a lot, right? They're selling a lot. they are looking to still capitalize on where the price of Bitcoin is, and unfortunately, I would be surprised if the futures are not the reason why this market goes down and tests the lower levels. That's what I will say. Initially, I still believe in a push to the prior range, possibly to the levels around 100,000. But I think if the futures market is selling at these levels, they're going to be selling 10 times more when it gets to the higher levels. That's the thing, right? So I'm expecting lower price in the near future. I would say short term, I'm expecting a rally. At least to the prior range, at least up to this level here, at least here, to this pocket of liquidity, at least to there, right? Which comes towards a 93 to 94, and then I'm still believe that we will test this pocket here. I'll put another pocket. I'm all about pockets today. There you go. All right. I'm going to get rid of these lines. Get rid of the lines. I'm just going to keep the pockets. All right. I'm just showing levels of liquidity. All right. We've broken out of one key area. Great. But we are still holding below a key level that isn't great, right? What could happen? It could come down and retest the higher end of this is the 88.9. They're accumulating slowly because they're averaging down. They're doing this. Averaging down, right? They buy small at the top, and increase as it's going down. They know that there is a flaw to this. Because if you look at this level, oh, that's not what it is. If you look at this level here, the liquidity here is massive, right? It's massive. Here, so what they're doing is this. I'll just draw it here. They're doing this. Right? Let's do that. They're doing this type of buying structure. That's what they do. All right? So they're buying small amounts, and you'll see people start talking about, larger whales buying this many millions, that's many millions, this many millions, at a point where they get to a point here where they know that in this area here, it is massive levels of liquidity. The buy orders at these levels will be enormous, right? So they know that. So what they will, and to be able to, why? And they know that levels down here, a lot of people are going to be buying. And so people who have the faster exchanges, the faster connections, are going to be getting in earlier. So they're just going to come down and average at a price that's probably around the 72 to 73. It's okay, right? Because the move up will possibly be an enormous move from there on. That's it. That's all I would say. Are you guys entertained? Right? Was that good enough for everyone? For the 88 people that turned up to my live. That's what I'm thinking. Maybe I'll do it earlier. Change the time up a bit. Maybe people are sleeping. People are not really wanting to go on lives and watch me live. So I'm thinking maybe on New York Open. So around the 3 to 4 o'clock. It's awesome. We can see the charts on TikTok. Good work. I think I appreciate it. Great stream today. Thank you. I think you're right. That's very kind of you guys to do. We like you, Alvin. Thank you so much. I'm glad people like me. Well, some do. Most people don't, but whatever. It's all cool. You can't live without having hate in your life. But yeah, that's that situation. So I'm most probably from next week onwards might add in a 3 to 4 o'clock stream as well. Just an hour, 3 to 4 o'clock stream. I will look at market support. Yeah. Are you expecting bull run this year? I would say the start of a bull run, probably around May. You're no boy blue. Thanks, man. I'll take that as a compliment. I have an archery lesson. I've done archery. What weight? Do you use compound bows, or what type of bows do you use? What weight do you pull? Being on that bus, thank you so much. Appreciate it. Anyway, okay, cool. Look, any coins you want me to look at before I end the stream? I would appreciate it if we can get to the 100,000 likes. That would be amazing. If you guys can do something on that level, it would be wild. And we can go from there. That's what she said. Appreciate it. Solana. All right, let's have a look. God, that was being such a good trade. I love looking at trades and then not taking them. Absolutely love it. I go, that's a great shot. I will never take that. Well, Solana's looking good. Just so you know, we bought Solana 122 in our pro group. Just so you understand, that was my entry, 122, and I took 50% of the profits around here. That's not bad. It's a good move. Solana looks good. Yeah, that looks good. Watch for a rejection around the 132 though. I mean, in fact, okay, it is very simple, right? Super simple. If Solana can close the day candle, Them on Tuesday I have a pedal class at 4 p.m. Okay. You're putting 35 pounds. Ah, not bad. Not bad. Light though. 35 pounds is actually very light, man. How small are you, bro? 35 pounds is very for a compound. Are you serious? That's really small. Anyway, whatever. Yeah, look, if Solana holds 130, if Solana holds one, funky living the life. Yeah, I know, but like, that's really light, man. You're pulling really light bows. What was I saying? Yeah, if it holds a 130, 130.7, I'm only one. Oh, okay, well, that's pretty good then. You're 154 pounds. You're tiny. Bruh, how small are you, bro? Damn. It's still, that's impressive. For 154 pounds to pull, that's impressive. That's pretty impressive. Yeah, so if it holds a 130, this will continue out. Take profit levels. We're looking at 133, 136, and then 139 and 141. This should continue on. This looks relatively strong. Is Ponky a man rune? I struggle to use the kid's bow. Now, 35 pounds is pretty good for his weight. That's impressive, genuinely. Yeah, it's impressive if that's a good body weight to the compound bow weight. It's Ponky a man rune? I don't know, man. It doesn't. Why does it matter? Who else? What else should I look at? What else should I look at? Hollow. What's hollow? I don't want to use tethers. Where's the dollar? Anyway, let's look at L there, whatever. Why'd you got look? Okay, from now on, I'm gonna say something. Right? From now on, anyone that says, "What about this coin that has pumped aggressively?" I don't know what you want me to say. I don't know what you mean. Has it moved 50%? It's exactly at 50%. It's exactly at 50%. If it doesn't hold the 50%, it's going down. And it will most probably test around the 0.0786. If it holds, if the day candle closes above that, if the day candle closes above that, then it will be moving up, most probably. Long-term projection of ICP. Okay, I don't want to say, I've never been a fan of ICP, ever. I worked with ICP back in the day. Well, I tried to anyway from their marketing. I have a marketing company, and they are just the things that they did. Yeah, Ethereum was great. Yeah, I said to you guys, I said this is looks like it's going to expand due to the what's going on the exchange, the amount of inflows to outflows, the amount of stakers and everything on that level. It looks great, but remember the 5th of November, right? This is a rule you should always keep in your mind. Always. Any move that happens usually pulls back to the 50% level. So if you're looking to enter into this, right, I would say wait for the pullback around the 0.07. It drew that the wrong way. 1 second. Yeah. So there we go. usually pulls back to 50%, 0.067. But I will say this, right? I would say this. Because the TVL of Ethereum is growing, because it's cheaper with the upgrades and everything else that's going on growing bullish coins, strong coins, right? The 0.382 is usually where they bounce from. So right now, this has a potential to have a bit more of a pullback. Potential. And look, if you look there, it holds perfectly to what I'm saying, the 0.38. I think that would be the level where it would be a good point to enter. Sometimes it can do. Usually, you get three moves. A candle moves 3 times, and you have a three movement block. This is a very strong block, right? This is an area of resistance it's sitting at, so it should move down and hold those levels there. EOS is pretty good, but I don't know. TARS is okay. Ethereum is good. I just don't like IC, but I'm sorry. I've had really bad things. They reneged on a lot of things onto creators, and the creators absolutely God, they're just. I'm not trading that. I just have money on the sides for lower prices. I'm happy with that. Great strategy. I have a lot of dry powder on the side as well. If this has a sharp fall, and it could, look, with the level of liquidity that we're sitting in right now, that could happen very quickly. It doesn't take a lot to move this market right now. It really doesn't take a lot to move this. To push this down here, look, just so people can understand, we are closer to this level than to all-time high. If you just look at it in that manner, right? It doesn't mean we're going to reach here. It could even go down towards the 75, 74 level, right? Where we're sitting at this present moment, it's a 20% move, right? Bitcoin can do that. Where's that? That's a 40% move. We're closer. Yo, tell us what happened with ICP. I'll tell you the story about ICP. If I get to 60,000 likes, I'll tell you the story about it. You have 9 minutes. You have 9 minutes to get me there, and then I'll tell you the story about it. Right? So yeah, so you're closer to the lower end than to the upper end, right? So that's in the easiest way to look at it. I'm doing. You can do whatever you want, right? I'm playing short-term movements right now. I'm playing short-term plays, short-term this, even though it's not very easy because the market is still very, very sketchy, right? And a lot of volatility. We can play off this volatility. Where we are right now is you play small levels. You go in, you wait a few times. If you see multiple levels of liquidity being tapped and it holding strength, like it happened here, like it happened here, like it happened here, then you can hold a couple of days, 3, 4 days, 5 days. That's what I'm doing, right? Because that shows a strong level of support, and it's looking like that strong level of support will statistically cause a movement higher, right? But if we're looking at small little moves, small little places where there isn't this block of liquidity, it's tapping and then finding support constantly, at least 3 times over. If it hits 3 times over, you expect this thing to move up eventually, right? If you are doing in that manner, then I'm fully expecting this thing to move back, and I will play short-term 3 to 4 day holds if that is the case, or really short-term plays where I'll be taking relative move, take my profit and go out. That's it. And I've heard a lot of things. I did a 450x on Aptos on in the group and all that kind of stuff. Again, if you want to check it out, go to Learn My ROs. You know how to do it. Links in bio and all that kind of jazz. That's that situation. So, anything else you guys want me to look at? I love how he's like frantically. Sorry if you covered, but can you say something about Adam and Eve, Bitcoin, and what that means? Oh yeah, it's just a chart structure. If you look on the larger time frame, I think it's on the weekly. You can see it. No, is it on the monthly? No. Where is it? Where did we see them? Adam and Eve. Here. No, Adam and Eve is the other way around actually on this. It was on the total, I think, that Adam and Eve showed itself. Adam and Eve is this type of it's this move. Is it on Bitcoin? Where did you see the Adam and Eve on Bitcoin? Adam and Eve is this, or maybe on the, like, I'll have a look. I haven't, but Adam and Eve is this. But you get a sharp and then a rolling over like that. That's Adam and Eve. When you see that chart, that's usually a bearish signal. It's on the daily. Where is the Adam and Eve on the daily? I want ICPT. I can talk about it now. My NDA is over, so I can tell you exactly what happened. Just the idiots, right? That's the only way I can say it. They're just foolish. It's a foolish company that thinks that, yeah, they just did some silly things. That's all. Silly things that they shouldn't have done. On the daily, where is it on the daily? You need to show me in the group, man. Send it to me in the group. I don't know where you're seeing Adam and Eve on this. I guess you could call that an Adam and Eve, maybe, but it hasn't done the move at all. Yeah, so we'll see. My short term case is to test this level here, 93 to 94, but that move from there would be very, very, very strong for this, and especially if you look at the USDT dominance, it looks like that is going to happen. It tried to, yeah. We need that to close below this level here, the 6.1 say 17. Cool. Anything else? Any other coins you guys want me to look at? Anything else you want me to see or understand or give my opinion on, so we can then move on from there? My TV acting funny at the moment. Link. Oh, you mean the coin? Oh, XRP. All right, Link and let me look at Link first, and then XRP. All right, let's look at Link and then XRP. Let's see what XRP is at. XRP is probably going to be strong. Link's looking very good. Yeah, Link's looking lovely. Lovely. Look. Yeah, I was saying that the 14.09 is going to be very important. Most probably get there. TP zones are 3.64, 3.58, and then no 13.85, and then 14. 14 is going to be very, very important. Yeah, that's a super important area. Yeah, super duper important. Make sure you mark that. That looks good. All right, let's look at XRP. What's XRP up to? Nice. Nice little move there. Would we say it's had a breakout? Not really. Not really. You can adjust this a little. Not yet. Not really. But this supports, this liquidity area here is very strong. So I would not be surprised if this doesn't break out, and at least tested 2.11. That's what I said last time. 2.11 is the number to hit, and it's looking pretty good. But remember what I've said always. If the day candle closes like this, right, you usually get a 50% retrace of that level, which looks most around the 1.932, or if it's just a bullish momentum, 1.9475. Is an area where it will most probably come and retest. That would be a good area to enter, depending on low time frame measures and those factors from there. Let me get rid of that. All right. Anything else? I'm not looking. Oh my god, you make me choke. I'm not looking at Trump coin. I'm sorry. I'm not looking at Trump. Oh my god, you almost made me choke on that. All right. Oh my god. Strange. I don't think Donald Trump has ever said that. Ondo. Let's have a look at Ondo. It's all right. I would not be interested until it gets past the 0.455. Like right now, Ondo is insanely inflationary, right? So I would not touch it until it gets to that level, until it gets to 0.455. Other than that, no way, Jose. Okay. Oh, we got to the 61,000 likes. Nice. All right, let me talk to you about Pepe, right? Everyone's talking about Pepe at the moment. Everyone, right? Everyone's like, Pepe is amazing, this, that, and the other. Pepe is having a marketing run, right? I just want everyone to be very, very careful here. Very careful. Marketing runs, there will be a point where this has a retrace. Thanks for all the alpha to the moon. Got a weekend. Thank you so much, Real Monkey. I really appreciate it a lot. All right, I'll take the ICPT after this. Be very careful with Pepe. Very, 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 very careful. Right? They're doing a marketing run at the moment. You will start seeing big creators talking about this, and there is a reason why they're talking about it. That's all I will say. All right? Be very careful. Now, ICP. I was involved with the ICP long time ago, early of the year before that, right? And that's when I was like, yeah, this is not gonna go well. And if you look at ICP, it is in the toilet, right? The oh my god, it's gonna take over the world. It's gonna be the new mother coin. There's nothing that will even come close to ICP. It is gonna be the coin that ends all coins, right? And if you look at this thing, it is just straight down. It's just straight down. All right. Don't get me wrong. It is holding. It is holding this key support line, but that key support line is. I mean, it's really down. Like everyone is extremely down. And it doesn't mean it can't have this move here, right? Because ICP has a lot of money to do marketing. And unless you hear, this is how I'll play ICP, right? Unless you hear larger creators start to talk about this, I would not be interested in ICP at all. Because what they did is that when they were first launching, they did this massive campaign where they got a whole bunch of influencers, big names, huge things. They gave them all this kind of stuff for early buys and all this kind of stuff. And everyone was posting and pushing it. And that's when ICP did this, right? That's when ICP did, where was it here? Was it this one? Yeah, this one here. That's when ICP did that. That move was when they were playing with influencers and everything was going well and they were paying them and this and the other. Then they had a change of leadership, and that change of leadership mid-run, there were people that were still need to be paid a lot of money, still needed to be paid, said ICP on its own is enough. What we're building is enough. What technology we have is enough. We don't need these people. And they just cut all of it and just ghosted all of the creators. All of them. All of them. And then from that moment on, it was just downhill. It was downhill. So people who are running, I don't know. I mean, the last time I checked, it's the same gentleman, right? That's there. If he's still running this thing, wait until you start hearing one or two people talk about it. And then that's be the moment to really start. When you start hearing larger creators have a whisper of ICP, that will be the moment to test the waters with this. And you'll get at least a bit of a move like that. That's it. Move the white line down to the low. You mean to this, the wick? Everyone has that wick. That's not a support level. This is a support level. If you have 3 touches to a line at minimum, and this is really strong liquidity here, there, and here, and here. That's super strong liquidity. That's all I would say. Yeah. Anyway, that's it. Okay. Look, lots of love, affection. I appreciate everyone being here. I'm gonna try and start doing some earlier lives as well. Let's see how that goes. Maybe TikTok will pick it up. Maybe it's the evening. People don't want to watch the evening. What I might do, I might do market analysis in the day, around 3 to 4 o'clock UK time, and then give more news and just head talking and giving like these little bits of information and data sets and this and the other in the evening. How does that sound? Does that sound good? Is that a good type of format for a live? What do you guys think? So like market analysis in the morning, like data, TA, and everything else like that, and then more of this kind of data and everything else in the evening. So you guys can at least have a understanding of where I believe the market is going to go, and we can work in that way. Yeah. But I'm gonna need you guys to like help me and like share and all that kind of stuff. I don't know. Anyway, whatever. We'll see. We'll do it. And I might do some more videos of where I think the market's gonna go as well. We'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see what the situation is and what the scenario is, and we can go from there. All right. But as I said, you guys have been incredible. I appreciate you all being here. Anyone who's new here, consider following. It means a lot. Appreciate it a lot as well. I do market analysis every day, Monday to Friday, 7:30 until the evening. And yeah, we can move on from there. And I'll try and do those mini sort of early day streams from now on, so we can see what goes on from there. All right. Anyway, appreciate it. If you want to check it out, check out the pro group. Check out Learn by Alvarez. It's a free Telegram group that we can talk and see everyone there. And if you want to have literal 0 trading fees, check out MEXC. I've done a deal where I don't earn anything, but you guys get all the benefit. It's hard to believe, but it is the truth. All right. Lots of love, affection, all that kind of stuff, and I'll catch you guys later. All right. Peace. All right. All right. To you guys as well. I'll catch you guys all later. You guys are incredible, and I'll